Every day, our I-Team is taking action for you.
On May 8th, this thing showed up behind me, and I thought it was a brand new home. I didn't realize it was FEMA.
Shining a light and solving problems.
They spent the money on it, dropped it off, and figured no one would say anything about it.
Uncovering loopholes used by insurance companies to deny life-saving treatments.
I feel like this isn't just about getting better and fighting the cancer. I'm also fighting them to cover my treatment.
And giving you a voice.
The fact that there is even talk of naming this law Rachel's Law after you, my friend. What does that mean?
I don't really feel like it's something I deserve.
Protecting what matters most.
This was a special cruise for her 70th birthday. We decided that we should cancel this cruise because she wouldn't have been able to enjoy it.
And when every dollar matters, fighting for every cent.
Where's the humanity? It's a business, I know, but what about people?
Holding powerful people accountable for unsafe conditions.
I literally felt like I was dying for months.
Join us as Tampa Bay 28 investigates.
And we begin with an investigation into housing conditions at MacDill Air Force Base. The families tell me they lived in mold-ridden homes, and their pleas for help were met with corporate indifference. I was first to break the story, going inside the homes and listening to the families who are now worried for their own health. Walking into Lieutenant Eric Prevost's home in Harbor Bay, it looks like a safe haven.
We've made this house a home, right?
But it's what Prevost couldn't see, he now says, harbored hidden dangers.
I literally felt like I was dying for months.
A lawsuit filed against the Michaels organization says in the spring of 2024, Lieutenant Prevost's health deteriorated, including blood pressure spikes that led to multiple emergency room visits and a 3-day hospitalization.
I've had a ton of medical issues starting in April of last year. As you can see, that's not even half in 1 year.
According to the suit, in June, an independent inspector tested and inspected the home.
It's all been sampled, it's all been confirmed that it is in fact mold growth.
Thick mold coated the entire HVAC system, and the home was deemed unfit for human occupancy. Prevost made several calls to report the problem, and when Harbor Bay eventually sent a contractor to the home, the workers told Prevost that as soon as they opened the panel, the smell nearly knocked them off their feet. They also asked if they could pray for him and his family.
There's mold growth in here that's potentially harmful.
Major John Jensen is another plaintiff in the lawsuit.
My daughter coughed consistently for the last 2-3 years.
Before moving into this home in 2021, the lawsuit says the Harbor Bay Housing Office told Jensen that they needed time to turn the house from the previous tenant. Jensen's wife suffered from debilitating migraines and now experiences tremors requiring neurological treatment. Jensen experienced fatigue and mental health issues, and their daughter developed respiratory issues at Thanksgiving 2024 that persisted until they vacated the home.
We are supposed to protect Lily, and she's suffering in this every day for 4 years. It was difficult.
Difficult discovering what was right under their feet. Bring me back to that moment that you saw some of this.
Yeah, we were doing a second mold inspection. The boards were already starting to buckle. One board had kind of come up and popped, and we kind of looked under it. It was in this area we found some of the mold, and then it just kept going.
The day of their move out, the Jensens received the 7-year history of their home from Harbor Bay. This document revealed that the home had been flooded and underwent purported remediation immediately before their move-in, and that previous tenants had reported mold, with one writing, "My wife and I have been sick. Can you check for mold?"
There wasn't, hey, we acknowledge that there's mold in your house. That's a problem on post. Nothing. It's silence. The silence is deafening.
I had pneumonia for 2 months.
For 2 months?
From November till December 2024.
Technical Sergeant Juan Torres also moved his family into Harbor Bay in 2021.
This is a 4-year commitment where I said, I trust you with my life. I trust you with my health. And, it's just gone.
The lawsuit says in June of 2025, the Torres family hired a third-party mold inspector. Testing revealed extremely toxic levels of molds throughout the home, including Stachybotrys, black mold, in the HVAC system.
When you got the confirmation that there is an issue of mold in your home, what went through your mind?
I was in shock. I was in shock because my wife would tell me all these things about her being sick and her headaches getting worse over time, and I'm like, well, maybe is the weather, maybe is the allergies. I was skeptic up until that point. Knowing that you and your family were exposed to that air for so long, I can't believe that the people that I entrusted my family to failed me. And it makes you angry.
The Michaels organization would not comment on the lawsuit, but said our priority has and continues to be the well-being of our Harbor Bay residents, staff, and community. Congressman Gus Bilirakis and Congresswoman Kathy Castor both reacted to our investigation, saying that they will act on behalf of McDill's families. Congresswoman Castor wants an end to the housing contract, which right now is not expected to expire until the year 2057.
Still to come on Tampa Bay 28 Investigates, many hurricane victims would be grateful to get a FEMA trailer. But a woman in Dade City was outraged when this one was dropped off next door. And you'll hear why when we return. So many of our neighbors relied on FEMA for help after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. But a viewer in Dade City reached out to me after a FEMA trailer was dropped off near her home, far from coastal communities. So I started digging and found out the property where the trailer was delivered is registered to a woman who is dead. So this is private country road here?
Yes.
Ava McLaurin and her husband moved to a home on a rural road outside Dade City last year, where they raise horses, cows, and donkeys.
I wanted space. I wanted animals. I grew up in Pinellas County.
Ava's childhood home was in Shore Acres, 65 miles away, a neighborhood that was pummeled by Hurricanes Helene and Milton.
Yeah, it was everything I wanted.
Her new house is not in an evacuation zone and is 110 feet above sea level. Ava says storm damage to her property was minimal.
There was a tree there and 2 limbs fell this way.
So she was surprised when a FEMA trailer appeared next door.
On May 8th, this thing showed up behind me, and I thought it was a brand new home. I didn't realize it was FEMA until I went into Pasco County's permit section.
Hello? Ava's neighbor, Cindy Wood, lives in an old mobile home on the property with her husband and adult children. Hey, how you doing, ma'am? Hey, puppies. Wood says she applied for FEMA assistance because branches fell on her roof.
I had both the hurricanes hitting me.
Okay.
And I've had two heart attacks since then.
Oh, no.
Had to have stents put in.
But her neighbor Ava blames Wood and her family for the home's condition. This Google Street View photo shows what it looked like in 2023. Records show Pasco County Code Enforcement has been there 26 times since 2017. And court records show Wood's husband and son have been fined for inoperable vehicles, junk, and trash.
Everyone on this street can attest to quality of living that they had before the storm and what kind of condition that trailer was in before the storms.
Ava sent Code Enforcement pictures last August of old tires, rotten wood, and a boat filled with moldy fabric.
They had busted out windows, roofs that would flap when the wind would come through. I mean, it's been pretty dilapidated since even before we moved in.
Ava asked county inspectors then to demolish the home. Here's what they emailed back.
I will send a consent to inspect to the property owner listed on the property appraiser's website, seeking permission to inspect the interior of the structure.
So, did they have any luck talking to the owner?
No, she's dead, been dead.
It belongs to Sharon K. Higginbotham. She lives in heaven now.
Higginbotham, Cindy's mother, is listed as the property owner on the county permit for FEMA to set up the trailer. We obtained Higginbotham's death certificate showing she died August 4th, 2014. She is still shown as the property owner on the Pasco County Appraiser's website. A FEMA spokesperson told us housing assistance applicants must be either homeowners or renters with signed lease agreements.
I feel like it's pretty basic due diligence to see who owns it and where is she at. And if you can't find that, that should raise you some pretty red flags in my opinion.
The spokesperson declined to share the application, citing privacy rules. When we asked the cost of the trailer, the spokesperson forwarded a 2019 MIT study estimating FEMA trailers cost taxpayers between $110 and $129 $39,000 on average. That's the new ramp.
Yeah, if you look at the floor, it's Trex. I mean, it's nice.
The trailer on the deceased woman's property also included a custom-built ramp with waterproof decking. 7 years later, it's just in her name as if she's alive and kicking. We asked Tampa attorney Josh Burnett if the ownership issue could be problematic.
I would want to take a look at that form, see how it was filled out, see if the information in terms of their claimed ownership was made clear to FEMA.
Because the deceased mother's name is still on the deed, that's technically still the owner?
Given that she's no longer with us, she can't really own the property, but her estate would have an interest in it, which is why you need to probate it.
I'm an owner. I said, when you pay taxes for that many years in a row, it's just automatically yours.
Records show Wood and her family have paid property taxes since Higginbotham's death, but Burnett says that doesn't give them title to the property, which would be required to sell it. Burnett also says the FEMA temporary housing program's rules require people to make repairs or find somewhere else to live. Because it's supposed to be temporary.
Right. It's not supposed to be a permanent dwelling for folks to, replace what is an inferior unit.
Are you able to live in here without the FEMA trailer next door?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it still isn't hooked up, right?
No.
Wood told us she didn't plan to go anywhere.
I took care of my mom right here in this house till she died.
Right.
My grandmother died in this house.
Okay.
And I intend on dying right here.
Right.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah. Do you think this is just a temporary thing until they repair their other dwelling?
They didn't repair the first dwelling they had back in August when it was already a dump. So why should I believe that they're going to take care of this one and B, repair the one that they already had?
It's not FEMA's position to step in and fix their life situation. FEMA's stepping in to help folks, rebuild in a situation which wasn't their doing, which was something that was unexpected, something that they couldn't protect themselves against.
It's supposed to be temporary, but I ain't even got in it yet. And if they have a bunch of rules or regulations, they can come get it. I don't care.
We contacted FEMA. And days later, FEMA contractors returned and hauled the trailer away. Pasco County locked the building permit, citing an investigation, but neither the county or FEMA would explain.
Every time something goes good for me, all these neighbors stop it.
Wood's neighbor Ava says she was just looking after others affected by the storms who still need a temporary place to live.
They spent the money on it, dropped it off, and figured no one would say anything about it.
All this year, we've looked into health insurance, denying claims for life-saving treatments. Breast cancer patients are protected, but we found a loophole in the federal law. As part of our Patient No More series, we fought for local patients who had their life-saving treatments denied by their insurance. Now, a powerful development, as a mom we introduce to you, is inspiring nationwide change. For patients who end up in treatment rooms like this, hearing the words breast cancer is devastating. Now imagine getting denied for treatments and procedures that come recommended by your doctor. That is what so many breast cancer patients in the U.S. are dealing with. This legislation, doctors say, will be an absolute game changer. This is what we've been waiting for.
This is it.
Right?
This is the big day.
What does this mean?
I feel like patients finally have a voice again.
Back in February, we investigated and discovered health insurance companies were denying breast cancer patients coverage for their treatments. How many of you spent weeks fighting for coverage? We shared the stories of real women battling their disease while fighting their insurer to cover costs, often for reconstruction after their mastectomy.
I was denied my reconstruction.
I was denied the type of mesh that my doctor recommended.
Get refused, then you start thinking, am I going to get through it?
It's a problem doctors say has become all too common. Patients diagnosed with breast cancer, but then denied coverage for treatments and procedures that came recommended by their physicians.
It makes me so mad.
You have to laugh about it because it's crazy.
Go ahead and show us.
All of us have been denied life-saving measures, so just make it make sense.
One of the patients we spoke with who I just can't forget is Rachel Roth McKnight, a young mom of 2 diagnosed with breast cancer. She also tested positive for the BRCA gene, making her more susceptible to other cancers. But her list of denials from her insurance company, lengthy.
I feel like this isn't just about getting better and fighting the cancer. I'm also fighting them to cover my treatment. Almost like every major thing since then has been either a deny or a delay.
But there's a law on the books. It's called the Women's Health and Cancer Rights Act. It's actually been on the books for decades, since the 1990s, and it was implemented to protect breast cancer patients who undergo reconstruction surgery after their mastectomy. Essentially, insurance companies are supposed to cover that reconstruction.
But after we exposed how insurance companies were using loopholes in this outdated law to justify denying claims, this new legislation aims to close those gaps, requiring insurers to cover any type of breast cancer-related reconstruction and future options as science, technology, and medicine continue to evolve.
Katie,
Listen, you don't have to thank me for this. This is a story that needs to be told.
It is, and I hope you feel what you're doing here. This is the biggest thing I will work on in my lifetime. This is it. It's a big deal.
And so this is legislation that has never been filed before?
This is correct.
For doctors and patients, if approved, it will be life-changing.
All of the frustration and all of the horrible things that they have gone through, it finally has meaning, and they are going to finally feel humanized again, that people want to help them and are on their side.
This legislation has been spearheaded by the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. Dr. Billington is a member and actually this summer traveled to DC with other members to meet with lawmakers, including U.S. Representative Kat Cammack of Florida, who took this idea and ran with it. What does this legislation mean to you?
It would be a huge relief for me personally, but also just knowing that other people don't have to go through this I can't even put it into words.
If lawmakers approve this legislation, this law would actually be known as Rachel's Law, in honor of Rachel Roth McKnight.
When we were thinking about the name, I just thought Rachel is the first person that I thought of because she's the one that started all of this.
The fact that there is even talk of naming this law Rachel's Law after you, my friend. What does that mean? Ooh, that makes me emotional.
I know. I'm again, it doesn't feel like I don't really feel like it's something I deserve. It's an honor that I don't know that I take it as a sign that I need to continue to use the position that I have to advocate for everyone.
There is still a long way to go with this legislation before it becomes law. But this is a first step, a huge step. And for the doctors and patients who have been fighting for it, they see it as a lasting legacy. We have much more coverage in our Patient No More series. Just visit our website, tampabay28.com/patient-no-more.
Up next, you'll meet a man who planned a special birthday cruise, but when tragedy struck, his travel insurance company let him down. Money is tight right now. You deserve to get what you pay for, and it's my job to help you fight back in a segment called Susan Solves It. This summer, a man reached out who canceled his cruise when his wife got sick. There's a lesson in his story for anyone who buys travel insurance.
One folder holds more than photos.
I have a lot to choose from.
Rich Schmidt sees the story of his wife, Karen.
Sure, this was taken by her mother.
There's the beginning.
This was what she looked like when I met her in 1971.
The middle.
I'm raising my two children.
And the end.
This is the best one because it shows better days.
They had 50 years of better days.
She made this for us.
Some of the best ones spent on cruises.
I've been on 50 cruises with my wife.
That list was going to get longer in June.
This was a special cruise for her 70th birthday.
Days before they were supposed to set sail.
She just had lower back pain and she thought it was sciatic.
Instead of getting better, Karen's pain became debilitating.
We decided that we should cancel this cruise because she wouldn't have been able to enjoy it. She, in fact, by that time, had difficulty even sitting up in a chair.
They canceled thinking their travel insurance policy with the company Travel Insured International would cover their refund. But months after filing the claim, there's been no payout.
Where's the humanity? It's a business, I know. But what about people?
He started the claim process in May, days before they were supposed to leave. On the form, he wrote his wife had severe pain and difficulty walking. She was seen by multiple doctors and scheduled for an MRI.
The condition worsened.
That's when Karen ended up in the emergency room.
We were told for the first time in the emergency room, you have a tumor on your spine. Instead of going on her 70th birthday cruise, she was in St. Joe's emergency room, being diagnosed with cancer on her birthday. How sad is that?
Karen spent the next month in and out of the hospital.
This one was an aggressive form of cancer. It metastasized throughout her body and spread to her bones. And so that was the cause of her pain all along. It was the cancer, but we didn't know it.
At the end of June, she was moved to hospice.
But he said after 8 days they would have to discharge her. She died on the 7th day that she was in there.
In the middle of everything, Schmidt had a list of records Travel Insured International required for the claim.
Filled out by her primary care physician.
He showed us everything he filed, including notes from multiple doctors.
They were never satisfied with what I had sent them. And I'm still waiting to why this insurance company will not process my claim. And that's why I turned to a friend, Susan.
We emailed a company spokesperson who said they're actively looking into the claim and its status.
Can it take a long time for an insurance policy claim to be paid? Yes, it can. Get treatment, or if you have to fly home.
Pamela Lopez-Servac has spent more than 25 years as a travel agent specializing in cruises.
The insurance wants to cover themselves. I always tell my clients, when you have the insurance and you have to cancel, you need to see a physician right away, and they have to say, you cannot travel. Get it in writing.
She said she's seen clients get claims paid in as quickly as 2 weeks, but it varies by the case.
And if the insurance company asks for more information, unfortunately, you do have to give them more information.
A few days after I reached out,
this is the check.
Schmidt had the more than $3,600 he was owed.
Say, I don't think this would happen without you.
Travel Insured International never responded to us again and wouldn't answer our questions about what happened.
Deep down, I'm still upset the way that I was treated by the insurance company.
The birthday cruise money is already going to something else.
1, 2, 3, play.
Schmidt took the photos from the folder
so people can know what she was really like.
And made a video that will play at Karen's celebration of life.
This is going to give me closure. That's why I want to do this.
Not all travel insurance policies are the same, so it's important to know your exact coverage. Some policies will not include pre-existing medical conditions, but Florida law requires insurance companies to disclose that before someone buys a policy.
Keeping kids safe or just a money grab? After the break, an important update from a local woman trying to fight her school bus camera violation. Thanks for staying with us on Tampa Bay 28. I've been tracking problems with the new school bus cameras used in Polk, Hillsborough counties, and other districts. We were first to expose problems drivers had trying to fight their tickets, leading some to believe this program is basically a money grab.
Hello, how are you? What you say? Good to see you.
What is the latest with this violation that just won't go away for you?
I got a letter stating I already had a hearing date that I missed.
Did you know about this hearing date?
I had no idea. I haven't received any letters.
For Karen, this is a big deal. Because she missed her hearing, her $225 violation will now cost her $270.
It's a mess.
It all goes back to these new school bus cameras. They started rolling on drivers in several Florida counties last year, including Hillsborough, where Karen lives. The purpose, to stop drivers who illegally pass a school bus while it's stopped for kids.
If you really want your kids to be safe in and around school buses, it's a very good program to have.
The problem?
I got my own ticket for doing absolutely nothing.
We kept on hearing from drivers who felt like they were unfairly fined.
I didn't illegally pass the school bus.
Karen was actually one of the first drivers we spoke with.
Boom, back there. I'm past the driver of the bus.
So was Lars Larson, a Tampa dad with 5 young kids.
I would say the stop arm is probably in line with the handle of my door.
So we started investigating and discovered drivers who got ticketed had no way to challenge their fines. Because while the cameras started rolling, the process to contest violations was never set up. Drivers fumed.
That's just obnoxious.
I felt like it was really strong arm robbery like.
Raising more suspicion, these cameras are generating a ton of cash. More than $40 million in Miami-Dade and Hillsborough counties alone in just a matter of months.
I think it's a money grab.
Oh, 100%. It's a money grab.
And the for-profit camera vendor, Bus Patrol, keeps the lion's share. We asked them about it. Why should the public not see this as a money grab?
That 70% it sounds like a salacious number. Bus Patrol is fronting all of the capital to the tune of millions of dollars.
Now, nearly a year later, drivers in Hillsborough County are finally able to contest their fines over Zoom hearings.
If I would have just stopped, I would have created a traffic hazard at that time.
I did what I thought was safest for everyone.
But Karen isn't the only one with a surprising outcome.
You've got an update on your school bus violation, but it's a little different than Karen's.
I received a notice that my case was dismissed, and I received that notice by mail 2 days before my court date.
But did they tell you why they dismissed?
There was no reason. It just said your cases have been dismissed. I'll take that as they're admitting guilt on their own behalf, or their system kind of failed after reviewing it a second time, I guess.
We reached out to Bus Patrol about Karen and Lars's tickets. They tell us Lars's sudden dismissal stems from the local sheriff's office, which reviews citations before they're sent out. They also say Karen will get another chance to appeal.
Are they just handing out tickets, expecting people to pay it?
But these driver conclusions still showcase the main issue of this program. A hastily rolled out program created to keep students safe, but leaving drivers confused, frustrated, and questioning who's really benefiting. So what do you make of all this?
It's confusion.
So do you feel sort of relieved? Like it's finally over?
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to the Zoom call.
Really?
I was, because it's like, you've strung me out this long, right? And you're picking a fight with somebody who didn't do anything wrong, so I was ready to make a mockery of them.
In Hillsborough County, the first drivers who got tickets were finally able to challenge them in September. More than 1,100 cases have been heard, but with poor results for drivers. Nearly 90% of the tickets were upheld.
Still to come, a story of money going right down the drain. You expect everything to be perfect when you move into a newly built home, but a woman in Apollo Beach reached out to me about an outrageous plumbing problem. It got so bad she described her bathroom as an outhouse. Patty Wood, a recently widowed senior citizen who lives alone, says her toilet troubles started 3 days after she moved into her new home.
The toilets did the blub, 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 and all the water rushed out.
In the months that followed, Patty says her pipes have repeatedly been clogged by organic waste.
I have 2 indoor outhouses, and that's unacceptable in any house, let alone a brand new house.
It smells like an outhouse.
It does. I was going to light candles so you didn't have to experience it. I'm like, you know what? They need to smell it.
Patty is no stranger to comedy. She was known to Tampa radio listeners 25 years ago as Peppermint Patty, when she performed wacky stunts as part of a morning radio crew. But she says what's going on in her bathrooms is no laughing matter. Patty says she's called the builder, D.R. Horton, relentlessly. The warranty department contacted Northwest Plumbing, their plumbing vendor, who blew out the lines with high-pressure water and even used a sewer camera to inspect the pipes.
They had a full clog block up with that bathroom within like 8 feet of the toilet, and they cleared that. They took the footage.
The plumbers initially blamed the clogs on toilet paper.
First, it was only use Angel Soft. So then I said, I am only using Angel Soft. So then it was number of squares of Angel Soft.
When the problem continued, a Northwest Plumbing employee emailed her writing, quote, blockages are not as common with large families because multiple toilets being flushed provides more water to move the solids.
I said, I'm not going to go find a family to move in with me so I can flush my toilets.
But that wasn't the only possible explanation.
Here's my favorite. Ranch-style homes, they need longer horizontal runs, so they need more water to carry the solids.
They've been building ranch-style homes since the 50s, right?
Yes.
As a precaution, Patty stopped flushing toilet paper.
This is the nonsense, the lengths that we go to.
So that goes beside the toilet.
Yes.
And that's where the paper goes.
That's where the paper goes.
And then you can fold it up nicely. And
Several times a day.
I have everything I need to run a normal call.
Patty eventually called her own plumber, Thomas Flynn, for a second opinion.
I've been licensed to practice as a master plumber for 47 years.
Thomas used to work in California, unclogging toilets of the rich and famous.
Well, I was the plumber for Arnold Palmer, Merv Griffin, Ava Gabor, Carol Channing, Bob and Dolores Hope.
You've seen a lot of toilets.
A lot of toilets.
Have you ever seen problems as bad as this on a new home?
Not in this sense, in that it's a continual, ongoing problem. It happens over and over again.
Could Patty have caused this just by flushing toilet paper?
Of course not. I can't think of a way that could happen, no.
Thomas says the problem is likely with the pipes.
There's not sufficient pitch on the underground waste pipe. That's the pipe that carries the waste from the toilet out to the house sewer.
We did an experiment to test his theory. Patty was asked to flush a black latex glove down the toilet in each bathroom as photojournalist Matt McGlashan shot video. Meanwhile, Thomas and I went to the outside cleanout, where the pipes connect to the sewer line.
And what you will eventually see is water pass through when she flushes the toilet.
Give me a 3, 2, 1 when you flush, okay?
3, 2, 1.
Starting the timer. We wanted to see how long it would take for each glove to pass through. 30 seconds. 45 seconds. What would be normal, Thomas?
I should have had water by now. Flush it one more time, Patty.
Okay, that's a minute and a half.
2, 1.
Another minute passed.
Flush it one more time, Patty.
2, blast off.
That doesn't sound good.
Did you hear the gurgle on this end?
Yeah, I did.
With no glove yet in sight, Thomas asked Patty to flush the second glove down the second toilet.
Okay, bathroom number 2. It stinks in here, by the way, in this bathroom.
Have you flushed the other one yet?
Not yet. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
In goes the glove. 2, 1.
After 4 flushes in nearly 5 minutes, water and gloves finally appear in the cleanout.
Both gloves have come through. Okay, we're done out here. Let's go inside.
Thomas says his experiment proves his point.
I can tell you that it doesn't have that 2% pitch. So that's about as telltale as it gets. I don't need to go underground and put a level on it to tell that. You know, gravity speaks for itself.
Would you consider this a warranty issue since this is basically a brand new home?
Absolutely a warranty issue. You know, the house should be livable.
Thomas estimates fixing the problem could cost tens of thousands of dollars.
To make it right, you would have to saw cut up the floor, go down to the waste pipe and readjust it and give it the proper pitch. It's a huge undertaking.
We reached out to D.R. Horton. A company spokesperson said in an email, quote, "We and our vendor Northwest Plumbing have investigated this matter extensively, including performing a video camera line inspection, and we have not discovered any issues in the home's plumbing system. We have provided guidance to Ms. Wood on how to best prevent future clogs."
She's having to put her toilet paper in a paper trash bag. Not a way to live, not 2025.
What would you tell D.R. Horton?
Back up your product. And if you're not willing to back up your product, don't sell it.
My team investigator Adam Walser with photojournalist Matt McGlashan taking action for you. Northwest Plumbing did not respond to 2 emails and a phone call asking for comment. Patty, who is a paralegal, recently filed a complaint against the builder and the plumbing contractor with the Florida Attorney General's office.
Still to come, the mother of a special needs student wants to know whether a school bus attendant slapped her son. School employees have seen video of the incident. You'll hear why they won't let the mother watch it when we come back. We are back with a story I have been following for months. A Pasco County mother's fight for answers after a bus assistant was accused of slapping her teenager. Her son has Down syndrome and autism, and I learned this is not the only time the now former assistant has been accused of crossing the line.
He actually just...
In body camera video we obtained from the Pasco Sheriff's Office, a Pasco County Schools employee says she wants to see the bus assistant who slapped Ian Stewart, a student with special needs, punished.
Personally, I'd love to see his arrested.
Arrested, she says, before revealing more about the bus assistant's record.
This is not the first time?
Yeah. Not the first time the bus assistant put his hands on a student, which our I-team originally discovered through a public records request. We requested the bus assistant's personnel file, his resignation letter, dated 4 days after the incident, effective immediately. The reason? Retirement, it says. This letter we obtained from the district described an incident where the same bus assistant put his hands on a different child. A manager writes to the assistant, "The video shows the student hitting and pushing you and you returning the same actions to the student." The district offered the employee additional training at that time. That was less than 3 months before the incident with Ian. In watching the body camera footage, we found out there's more. Take a listen.
Since January, we've had 2 other incidences with him putting his hands on kids.
2 other incidents, not 1. Our I-team followed up with Pasco County Schools since this was the first mention we heard of yet another incident. The school district would not agree to an interview, and in a statement told us Pasco County Schools was not aware of the additional alleged concerns cited in your email regarding the former employee. Our team is in the process of reviewing additional information shared in your email so we can fully investigate any and all alleged claims referenced in the body camera interaction. Here, the Pasco County Schools employee seen in the body cam video tells the deputy her thoughts on the bus assistant's actions and how they've responded.
Eats me to my core because of the fact you don't ever put your hands on a kid ever. It's we've written him up. We've done everything. It's
So the
we're
school,
done.
The school stuff is between
right,
you and him.
right.
So
yeah, perfect.
The criminal side of it, is in the video. It looks like he tries to bite at him, and he just kind of. It's kind of hard to tell because of the frame rate.
Right.
It kind of looks like he's just like back up. He's kind of like don't bite me kind of deal.
Right.
So, is it really a battery? Kind of hard to say because he's reacting to defending himself.
And so one thing, Ben says kiss, and then he was going to kiss his hand. The part that bothers me is the fact that when then pushed him the way that he pushed him very hardly, and then called him a son of. It's like.
Okay. Yeah.
Really?
So
there is just it's the whole thing all tied up together with past experiences that I've had with elementary school children.
Then we found out the investigation of a prior incident went beyond the school district.
I know his last case CPI did pick up. He actually got into a physical altercation with a child on the bus.
CPI, a child protective investigator.
He said, CPI showed up at my house, and they said they were looking for me because they needed to question me. I said, okay, you better talk to them. Yeah. He goes, but you guys said you already cleared me. I said, no, there's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between us telling you that you got a smack on your hand, whatever, and them doing theirs. Completely different.
But why was it a so-called smack on the hand, allowing the bus assistant to continue working with children? The school district did not answer directly and would only tell us, we use thorough pre-employment background screenings for all staff and to take swift, decisive action if an employee engages in unacceptable behavior. We remain committed to doing everything possible to protect our students. The interview with the bus assistant was among the body camera videos exempt from public record, the sheriff's office told the I-team, citing state statute. Blacked out because it was conducted in a private office. Through the incident report, we were able to find out the bus assistant initially could not determine what incident the responding deputy was referring to. Once he showed him the video, he remembered. The bus assistant stated after telling Ian to sit down, he tried to bite me, so I pushed him off.
I'm done with him as a friend.
Yeah. So however you guys handle it,
have to do at this point,
however you guys handle it between you and him, that's it.
Despite its own incident report stating a bus assistant slapped a student in the face, the deputy recommended this case be unfounded. The sheriff's office told us there was no criminal intent. Gretchen Stewart has filed a notice of intent to sue Pasco County Schools, which gives government entities in Florida a 6-month notice before a lawsuit is filed. We'll be right back.
It's radical, it's high-tech, and it's never been done before. Florida's about to launch a new pilot program bringing drones like these into public schools. Think Navy SEALs meets the Matrix, and they're all standing guard outside your child's classroom. The goal? Simple. Stop a potential school shooting from becoming deadly.
When 3 drones get on you, it's hard not to try to focus on the drones, right? So if we can get a shooter to do anything besides shoot people, we're winning.
Here's how it all goes down. Each school is equipped with a few dozen drones that are strategically located on campus. In the event of a threat, the drones are deployed within seconds after an alert is triggered.
We probably do 60 miles an hour in a school.
In a school.
And that's, again, limited down for safety.
They actually fly these drones from here in Texas, more than 1,000 miles away from Florida. And as you can see, they can maneuver them any which way through the halls of a public school, high, below, you name it, they can do it. And if necessary, the pilots can even deploy what the company is calling non-lethal distractors. Huh? The strobe, the sirens, all of that is just to create the noise.
Worst case scenario, that's about the force of a baseball bat.
Really?
So it does hurt.
I want every parent to sleep better at night. I want every kid to sleep better at night.
Nearly 8 years later, the tragedy at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, which left 17 students and staff dead, remains one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. No one wants to see this happen again.
When you look at the mass shootings, like Uvalde, like Parkland, there were several minutes before the shooting started, and we feel like in both of those we could have engaged the shooter ahead of time.
As for costs, Florida lawmakers just allocated more than $550,000 in this year's budget to test these things out. Florida's Department of Education just announced 3 campuses, all different sizes, all different locations, to be testing ground for these drones.
The best feeling in the world is to rescue a hostage, and that's what we're going to do here.
High tech, high flying, and high hopes. These drones might be one more weapon for the good guys to stop the bad guys on campus from becoming deadly.
The investigative stories you've seen tonight all started with a tip from our viewers. That's why when something's wrong, we need to hear from you.
Whether we're helping to protect your hard-earned money,
fighting insurance companies so you get life-saving treatment,
or exposing a cover-up, we want to be your voice. Reach out to us by scanning this QR code.
It goes directly to the iTeam page on our website where you can send a tip or watch more of these stories. Thank you for joining us.